Hello, Patreon subscribers. This is your October Archangel card reading for the month of October. Thank you so very much for supporting me over here on the channel, you guys. It's you know, it's a huge testament to the fact that hopefully people are paying attention and enjoying these readings, and that my work is of value. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys get a lot out of this reading, and let's see what October has in store for us. So I'm going to just slide this over. So these three cards here represent for the month. We've got the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. You know, be flexible with these. And as I always say, like in the daily forecast and stuff, if something doesn't make sense or doesn't correspond to what you're experiencing or anything like that, it doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just might mean that, you know, you might be on a different trajectory at this time, and so don't worry. And take, you know, anything that I say in this reading, use it and apply it in a positive way. Don't necessarily, you know, if it's maybe not the best reading or whatever, don't take it to heart. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're guaranteed to have an awful month or anything. So let's see. Anyways, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I just wanted to say that, like, caveat the reading with that. All right, so this is the first part of the month. We have the moon, Archangel Haniel, and this is associated with the sign of Pisces. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So this is one of the archangels. This is also the major arcana, right? And the moon, sometimes in more traditional, oh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. In in more traditional tarot, is can sometimes represent. It's definitely, you know, the subconscious, our darker side. It can be our shadow side. It also has to do with intuition, psychic awareness, all of that sort of stuff, right? But there is a little bit of, sometimes the moon can be interpreted as a scary card. I never really see it as a scary card, but that might be because I'm a Pisces. This being associated with the sign of Pisces, it can be moody or emotional. It can be like sort of energy tugging and pulling. I do feel like there could be insights that come available to us in the early part of this month, or awarenesses that come available to us that start to sort of become more clear as we move into the month. But I think that this is a very nice sort of like settled is the word I want to say. Like, it's so settled that we're kind of going deeper into our own subconscious, our own intuition, listening to our own voices instead of the voices that are around us, like in the world or in our day-to-day life, of like maybe other people's opinions of what we should and shouldn't do. This moon card to me speaks to us talking to, you know, our own self and hearing the voice from within that's telling us what we need to do or what is best for us, right? So this to me feels like a different what's the word, like the word independence kind of comes up in my mind as I'm thinking about this card. Like, we're thinking independently or more from internally and from within, versus allowing the outside to sort of dictate or decide for us. And also there's the idea of releasing fears that hold us back. So we might have to face some shadowy stuff or some emotional stuff in the early part of the month, but that's okay. I think that it's all for our greater good and for our evolution, so to speak, and to move us towards a place that is more true to who we really are, right, and what we really desire or want. So let's look at the mid-month card. We have the Lovers, card number 6, which is Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, and good health. So this is the sign of Gemini. It's interesting too, because Pisces and Gemini, Pisces being the moon card, Gemini being the card number 6 of the major arcana, they're the only two dualities of the zodiac. The Pisces is the two fish swimming in opposite directions. Gemini is the twins, right? So there's that dual nature. And when we're talking about the dual nature of the moon, right, we have that sort of subconscious and then our conscious, or our you know, day-to-day side, and then maybe our shadow side, however you want to refer to it. We might be being pulled in like by deeper desires in the early part of the month. This Lovers card to me speaks to this idea that not only can it mean that some of us, could potentially find love, or Archangel Raphael is also very much associated with healing, and love heals sort of all wounds, right? So we could find some of our own healing. We could find a sort of a deeper love and appreciation of ourselves through listening to that voice of the moon earlier in the month, right? Listening to those deeper, stronger, not stronger necessarily, but the more subtle, I should say, the more subtle voices within us, because that might be the truer form of who we are. When we're able to acknowledge and honor that and listen to that, that's when sort of we open the door for this lovers to kind of come in, for us to maybe fall in love with ourselves, appreciate ourselves more, respect ourselves more, listen to those deeper voices, and build upon that relationship. When we start to create that love within ourselves, we then sort of are more able to share that love outwardly into the world. And when we do that, it creates a chain reaction where we get that love back from those around us, from situations around us. So to me, this feels like a very lovely mid-month card where we've listened, we've, oh, I keep yawning, I'm sorry guys. We've listened, and we've done some of the more deeper soul-searching work in the early part of the month with that moon energy. And pay attention also to your dreams. That could be also very prophetic. There could be a lot of information in your dreams. And I say that because not only is the moon a very dreamy card, but also the lovers kind of coupled with that kind of takes you to that sort of daydreamy place. So your more subconscious thoughts, feelings, ideas, I think will be very key in showing you the way this month, also teaching you a lot about yourself this month, and allowing you to not only appreciate yourself, but also others, and be able to like deepen your relationship to self, and then thus to those around you. And they can deepen their, relationships to you. And that will provide sort of that healing that Archangel Raphael has, right? So let's see what the third card is. If this is another major arcana, oh my god. It totally is. All right, guys, this is a big month for us. This is the Wheel of Fortune, our Archangel Michael, right? Okay, so we all know who he is. He's the big old protector, right? A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side, okay? So this is, the Wheel of Fortune is always sort of a slow-moving energy, but I kind of feel like it's all of this love. It's the work that we do through the moon in the beginning of the month, the love that we find for ourselves and others in the mid-month, that when we take that and we move with it, or we put it forth into the world, it creates the wheel, and the wheel begins to spin, and that positivity starts to manifest and starts to create at the end of the month, right? So there's this beautiful kind of opportunity that's happening. As I look at this, these are all three major arcana, so I feel like this will be a pivotal month for most people, most of those of you that watch this. I feel like there's a huge opportunity for big improvements. We might have to do work through a little bit of murk, a little bit of emotion, a little bit of like, I don't know, pessimism, whatever. But intuitively, in the beginning of the month with that moon card, but intuitively, we're going to know the right things to do. And by the end of the month, we're really going to be sort of working. I feel like that wheel card to me sort of feels like working co-creatively with the environment, with our desires, and sort of using the love of the lovers card to kind of move that wheel forward and create the world that we want, or the experience that we want to have the relationships, that we aspire to, right? I'm not saying we're going to be able to control people or anything like that, but what I do think is when we know ourselves better and we love ourselves more, and we're able to then show that to others and share that with others, they're able to love us and appreciate us, and it becomes this sort of reciprocal thing, like the wheel, and that wheel just continues to spin beautiful sort of loving energy, and creates more abundance and prosperity, right? The wheel is also the ending of some chapters too, so there might be something that some of you by month's end may be letting go of, like really completely spinning yourself out of. That's sort of the vision, like the visual that I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Some of you are actually walking through that wheel is representing, I don't know why I'm seeing this in my mind's eye, but that wheel is representing as a doorway or a portal, like a chapter may be closing, a chapter that you guys may be under. And this could, when I say chapter, you have to apply it where in your life this fits, but it could be a relationship, or it could be a job, it could be something that, although it might have worked for you for quite some time in the past, it's no longer working anymore. And because of the Lovers card, this mid-month sort of appreciation of self, respect of self, that sort of thing, we're going to have to sort of depart and move towards something different. That's completely okay, right? So some of you might see that transition take place by towards the month's end, and that's the wheel, because the wheel is spinning and it's sort of spinning you out of what used to work into something new that works maybe better for you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. This is going to be October, to me, is going to be a powerful month with these three cards, like no joke. I hope that's the case. I would love to hear your guys' experiences and see how this plays out for each and every one of you. I would think that, you know, if we do the work, like I said, do the work in the beginning, don't be afraid of ourselves, don't be afraid of our emotions, don't be afraid of our intuitions, embrace them, love them by mid-month, and then watch them sort of begin to play out at the end of the month. They will play out productively. So the next card is the Guardian Angel card. This is what the Guardian Angel, your Guardian Angel, wants you to like focus on or look at. The Angel of Unity. We've seen this card before, I feel like. I feel like this came up. Did this not come up last month? I can't remember, but I feel like I've seen this card before. I like this because it feels like maybe people are coming back together. That maybe COVID is over. Maybe, maybe we're going out of October in a more bonded country. That would be nice. Maybe there's something that unifies all of us back together again. This division in this country, I think, is taking a toll on everyone. You know, whether we're paying attention to it or not. I'm a big proponent of not paying attention to it. I don't really like seeing people so pitted against each other, but it's distressing, right? And so this card to me feels like something is changing, right? Maybe it's this the moon work. I'm just using this as an example, but you know, to kind of broad spectrum this, the moon work could be how are we doing in the world? How are we treating others in the world? The lovers gets us to this point of maybe finding appreciation for ourselves and others in some way, shape, or form for people that we otherwise, you know, normally would pass judgment on or be mad at. And the wheel begins to change that and shift that, and then we get this beautiful guardian, this angel of unity, where things start to mend, things start to come back together. If that's, you know, maybe our life feels a slightly, you know, a bit more normal, or we're able to spend time with loved ones, whatever that is, this is what is sort of coming towards us. Expect it, embrace it, be grateful for it, enjoy it, right? So let's put that back up there. And then we have the angel insight. This is the angel we want to sort of pray to. The angel of forgiveness. See that? I like that he has the green border like Archangel Raphael, which is the Lover's card. And when I think about this, I wonder, is there somebody we need to forgive in our life? Maybe forgiving them is releasing them. That was that doorway that I was seeing with the wheel for some of you. It's about sort of no longer staying in bondage with situations or people that no longer serve us, right? I think that there's some of that going on. For some of you, I think that this forgiveness could be us forgiving ourselves or forgiving another and allowing ourselves the freedom to sort of heal from that. I think that this angel of forgiveness we may want to pray to in the mid-month during that period when we have that Lover's card at play, only because the green color in the border of the angel of forgiveness and Archangel Raphael very much key into one another. That's his color. So I think that there's a healing that takes place when we're able to either forgive ourselves, right, or another, if there's something that we've done wrong, and you know, in a situation or somewhere where we carry shame, can we forgive ourselves, right, and create that love that we see in the Lover's card, so that we can begin to allow the wheel of fortune to sort of spin in our favor. That angel of unity could be us just unifying more so even with our own self, believing in our own self, being our own sort of best and most able supporter, right? There's a transition that happens, I feel like, when I'm looking at all these cards, and I'm just feeling like a transition takes place where it's okay to place ourselves first in today's world, even with so much craziness going on, right? And so many people, you know, maybe needing help or fighting or all the struggle and strife that's going on. It's okay to sort of not only forgive them for their part in it, but also to like forgive ourselves that we don't know how to fix it. Forgive ourselves if we need to take care of ourselves and our own first and foremost. There's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of like I feel like I want to say that we're of no service to anyone if we're like, wrecked due to whatever's going on in our lives. And I don't think that anything's wrecked. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that like where this forgiveness comes in, I'm not sure where it may come into your situation or your life. But if you can find that for yourself or for others around you, I think that there's a love that stems from that, a freedom that stems from that. And it sets that wheel at the end of the month into a positive spin in a direction that we're going to want to see it go, right? And that's really kind of the most important thing in all of this. There's big transition this month, and I hope that's the truth for you guys. All right, so this is the Angel Meditations card. This is something to meditate on during the month. The Angel of Openness. My heart and mind are open to the light and love of my soul. When our consciousness is open to the love and light of the soul, our lives gain a new perspective. The light illuminates all that may be still obscure and doubtful in our minds. The presence of love dissolves fear and protects us, and at the same time, it radiates to everyone around us. So when I read that, I think about this Lovers card in the mid-month. I think about when it talks about here, it says, when our consciousness is open to the love and light of the soul, our lives gain a new perspective. The light illuminates all that may be still obscure and doubtful in our minds. That is this moon energy, guys, right? That sort of emotional, aspect to self, the shadow self, or the listening to the more intuitive, deeper voices, more subtle voices, right? In the beginning part of the month, doing that work, getting to this place of the Lovers, that creates this openness, and that creates what was just said in that sort of meditation, is meditating on that openness, that forgiveness that we give to ourselves, and kind of unifying, maybe even if it's just only ourself this month, that opens this us, right? And the wheel, right? And then it says down here, what does it say? The presence of love dissolves fear and protects us. And Archangel Michael is the guardian angel of full-on protection at the end of the month. So there's an opportunity here for us to kind of become more open, more forgiving, more in love with either ourselves or those around us, more unified in our world. And from doing so, not only do we gain a healing, we have a better understanding of ourselves, and we also have an opportunity to create something quite wonderful in the process. We could be ending some chapters on some things that no longer serve us, that we don't need anymore, or that, just don't work anymore. It says here also, I just want to remind you, fortune is on your side. If situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. So something is getting ready to shift, maybe something that we've been waiting for. I will say this too, Saturn has gone direct as of the 29th of September, so that's going to have a pretty powerful impact too. And then there's I want to say a conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter that's also supposed to be a very big deal. There's quite a bit happening planetarily too this month in October. I think we have quite a few, like, I want to say full moons. There's a lot of weird astrological stuff going on this month. That might be why all of these cards are sort of big and bold. And it's funny, we have three major arcana, right, that feel very big and bold and powerful, yet we have these sort of more quieter energies of forgiveness and openness. Right? Unity. They're more subtle, right? Even though we have these bigger cards happening. So I kind of want to say that maybe in some of the small acts of kindness, we might actually do bigger, greater things than we realize this month. Now let's go to what I consider the grounding stone, the little angel card, and pull that. So we are going to ground this month in the idea of abundance, in the idea of having enough, having more than enough, having exactly everything that we need. If we ground in that, if we operate from that place, we will be able to experience all of this stuff. We'll be able to achieve this openness, this forgiveness, everything that we see there. It also, I feel like that energy of abundance, if we ground through it or, focus upon it, that also helps at the end of the month with that Wheel of Fortune, right? Where we're running that energy or focusing on that idea, uh, uh, that desire for abundance, or just, being grateful for what abundance we do have. It builds upon, builds upon, builds upon itself. And by the month's end, situations begin to change or shift, like with that Wheel of Fortune, because we've sort of imbued it with all of this love and abundance. That is your forecast. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next month. Take care. Bye bye.